Morning. Well, it's a Saturday, and I figured well, I don't have much on mind right now, but I'm gonna do a little bit of reading because once in a while you have to take a break from something. And I got a book yesterday, so but I want to highlight what's happening here. So you can see some of the bees are coming out. So I put the swarm in there yesterday. You can hear them in there. I don't know if you can, I don't know where the mic is, but. So you can see the bees, they are coming out, and I saw it more pronounced before. I'm just kind of wanting to demonstrate what it is they're doing. And now earlier I saw a few come out, but what they'll do is they'll circle around and get a new bearing, and then they'll circle up and go up in the sky there, and they're reorienting themselves to the spot. They realize that something's off. The entrance to their hive is off. You know, it's the bees reorient, and so now they're locking in this as their new GPS coordinate to say, and you know, that's why I'm going to leave them in the box for the day, and then I will I think probably tomorrow I'd like to transfer the actual contents of the box into the hive, and that way they should all be oriented to that entrance right away. It used to be I would put the box on the, outside of the hive, as close as I could to the entrance, open it, they would be there for a day or two, and then I would put them in there. But yeah, no, it's this one's got, there's a lot of bees in there, I'll say that. And then the other one I might have to check up at a later point too, but that one's at my, I have one set up at my parents', so it's not as big as that one, but I'm curious to know how big it really is. This is the funny one. Yeah. So I'll see where the day goes from here. I got something done. So there we go. That's a continuation of last week's project. Hey, the door is in. Not the prettiest thing. What I ended up doing was putting just this 1x4 in the back, and then I screwed the hinges to the 1x4, and then you can see I got two up there, got one down there, and I just put this really simple latch on there, and then it self-opens, and it actually self-stops. That's just the way the hinges work out. When I put that top one in there, it really doesn't want to go past this point nicely, but it cut out there. It wants to bind on the top there, but it's not bad. It kind of just stays in this 90-degree position, which is nice. You can access your wood, get everything out of here, and then go from there. And I'm quite enjoying this little shed. I had to figure out what to do with all that pallet wood because, well, now then when you start working with real wood, you really can't go back to the pallet stuff, can you? But yeah, it's nice. I don't think I have to. Just a little like that, and it's simple and it works. Yeah, that's all it really needs to. It's all it needs to do. So, yeah, I'll probably sit down, have some coffee, formulate a plan, and you know what? I'll go stack all those jugs there. I got more sitting out there on the porch. Those were the ones I set aside that I cleaned especially, and I used them to store the maple sap in the beginning of the year. They all have lids. It's all these. I have to go try and find some actual lids for these. They got the threading for it, and that would make things a lot nicer. So I'll go hang this little sawhorse again, and then clean things up. So we'll see where the day goes from here. See how the bees are doing. That's a question I do have. I wonder if that hive, if it's split off. I'll have to look at the activity, but it just doesn't seem as big as it used to be. So it just feels like a decrease. But it's early morning, and I'll see how it goes in the afternoon. Alright, so there's these ones cleaned up, and I cannot find what these caps are called, or how you find the sizing. I'm looking into that, but it would be nice if I could actually find actual screw caps instead of these. They just slip in there now. But it's a shame, you know, you gotta get them, because at least these top ones are these are clean, they're nice. You know, you can use them to store stuff, but it would be nice if you could. Right now I don't have a better place to store them, so they kind of have to be outside. But so then, yeah, it would be nice to put an actual lid on there. But in the meantime, you know, they sit out here. They're all bound together with my little jerry rig ratchet strap. So that's one thing off the list. Well, let's call over to my parents because he's got some bees out here, and first time I've actually seen a swarm like this, so just gonna get suited up and then get him in the box. Alrighty, so I just got finished taking out a swarm, an actual to goodness swarm cluster. Never done that before, actually. That's when I filmed before, when, you know, actually on the branches like that. So that's all new to me, to be honest. I probably should read up again on really the best procedure to deal with that. So I kind of wing things from the seat of my pants, and then so I got my empty box. I filled it in there, and so I just placed that box within this one. But Brian, this one's already got a colony in there. It honestly, it seems dead. I looked at it this morning. There's nothing coming out. I opened it up. I could barely hear a peep. I looked in the frames. I did see nothing. So this colony seemed like it went the way of the dodo bird. So I figured, let's put some new life in there. We can do that. So I opened the entrance, and now that swarm is in there. And if that other old colony is still in there, you got something to say? You should be really leading the show. That old colony, the colony that was in here is so small that I doubt it would winter nicely. So I figured let's just put the new one in there. I have the frames already set up then, and then yeah, we'll see if that works nicely. Again, it's a bit of an experiment in its own right. So the bees, they've got frames now, they'll be out. The way I just shook them into the box, so there's quite a few bees still over where I caught them. So that's kind of, I think some people, they leave the swarm box in spot so that they can kind of form around that that box. But for me, I just dragged them in there, and I know that the bees over there, we'll see. The queen should be here. I didn't see any sign of her over there. But if she is, then we'll clearly see that the cluster is still over there. I might go back there a little later in the day. Maybe they all cluster back there together because they don't know what to do anymore. The worker bees that are left, and I'll just go back there with a smaller box, brush those all in there, and then I can dump them in this hive as well. And then yeah, but for those that aren't coming home or aren't here, bees will, if they don't have a home anymore, they will migrate, and they will pick up, and they can be adopted into other hives. So the funny thing is, the hive, I was just there yesterday, because there's a hive I have set up at my parents', and I installed a swarm there yesterday, and then all of a sudden this one shows up. So I could have just walked from one piece to the next and it would have been done with, but that's good. This is exciting. This is the most swarms I've ever caught in a season, by far. This is the 4th one right now. So, you know, God's been good, I say that. And it's kind of going to, it's one of those, it's just kind of proving my own idea of this style of beekeeping. I decided I wasn't going to buy bees anymore, and I'm now at a point where the most hives I've ever bought was, I think, 4 or 3. I think it was 4, and now I'm on par with that. So, you know, considering One, the quality of them, you can't buy that because nobody's going to sell you swarms, because every beekeeper will keep them for himself because they know how good they are. Two, it's hard to come by bees, especially since last winter, so I think they're a little more available now, but already last winter they were hard to come by, considering we had a loss rate of about 60%. I think it was bad, and plus you don't get the genetics here too. These are a lot darker, you can kind of tell about that. And this is one of them too. This was the heavy swarm. Looks like they're adjusting. They're getting used to this area, kind of figuring things out. It's exciting. It's the apiary is growing, and you know, it's finally I'm getting to a spot where I'm actually, you know, I'm getting back to where I was before. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 hives right now. I started the season with 2, so sees the crickets running around. So yeah, we'll see how this all works out, and I'm curious to see where these bees come from. Like, there's a lot of bees apparently around here, and you know, just collecting them here and there. So yeah, let's see where things go. Chickens found I think their new favorite spot. They've been rooting around here all day. There's a good amount of leaf litter, and it's a very rich area, and I was actually hoping they get in there. Maybe they can improve the soil a bit, keep the poison ivy at bay. Who knows? Look what the chickens found. Oh, good old Smirnoff. Thanks. No, that's an extra 5 cents for you. Okay, so this maple tree, there's an old stump back there. One of them was cut down a long time ago because it overwent the branch, but now it's really, you can see it just grows in like that. And well, I kind of left it. I figured, you know what, I'll use it as a coppicing tree, harvest wood from it. I inadvertently did that until I actually figured out what coppicing was. So I'm going to cut that back, and then I'm going to make the branches nice, and then select some nice ones. I got an idea to make like a little hammock swing, and I need some wood for that, some good pole wood, and I figure maple should be a decent wood for that. Get some out, dry it, and then or store it somewhere to let it dry, and then at least it cleans that up a bit, because it does overarch the driveway a bit. And maybe I should prune back some other trees. I know there's some low-lying ones that could use some pruning. So yeah, I'll get that done. well, I've been going around and I've been kind of pruning the trees. There's a lot of like dead branches here and there, and best time to prune, probably not, but I don't know. These trees are, they got a, how you say, they're getting to the age where they're getting a little bit sketchy, especially when you have stuff like this. See one up there. Good oyster mushroom. Actually, I could eat that, so funny enough. But yeah, I mean, this one too. Big, nice trees. But you got stuff like this. And then, just kind of wondering what I should do. Maybe wondering I should just get an arborist out here and kind of get a professional opinion. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I've been, took one of the long poles and took the zip ties from that, whatchamacallit, the fencing was zipped with these, so I just took them, and you know what, this works quite well, so I've been just going around and taking it's all the dead stuff, so yeah, see where that goes. I also hear that my uncle around here, apparently he's got a lot of bees kicking around his place too. So I might have to go pay him a visit and see what can be done about that. Those little rodents. They're getting, I gotta clean these up. Honestly, that's what I should do. Get those hives set up, and then at least I get a little bit more leeway in terms of vacancy. I have, whatchamacallit, I got one hive empty right now. So the hotel's almost full, but I've got spots already picked out, so I can. That's what I should do. Get that done. But you know, it's quite amazing how quickly this bee yard has just become so active now. Wow, look at that! There's actually activity there now. That's wonderful. And that one's just buzzing away. There's life here. Oh, I can smell it too. That's one of the best parts about having beehives on your yard, especially when in the heat of summer, when they're really fanning the hive, when they're curing that honey. That aroma just wafts around the place, and you get it's really nice. So, especially in the evenings, the cool evenings, yes, it's perfect. So should really get that. Actually, I should set up beehives. And then clean the porch. That was on my to-do list and I got sidetracked, so what's new? Let's continue with that. Alright, so this is really getting to be a beesy day, and I mean that full pun intended. It's been non-stop bees. And it's a wonderful thing to have. I mean everything. There's just activity everywhere now within the span of a day. And that one's really picked up, which is wonderful. So I hear there's quite a bit more bees over at my parents', so I'll have to come back. I anticipated that. Pick those up and then dump them into that hive. But it looks like, look, they are staying here. They're oriented to this spot, and they're not just buggering off. So that's a good sign so far. And to add to that, my uncle has 3 hives at his place that he doesn't know what to do with. I guess he's found them. They're in his shed, or I'm not sure what the details yet. I phoned him, so maybe I'll stop by there tomorrow, hopefully, and then see how that goes, because I'm entering new waters, to say. Well, even today I caught the first swarm that hadn't settled yet, so that's the first time I've done that. But now he's got established colonies that need to be removed. I think they're in the inside of his shed, one of them, and I don't know where the other ones are, but I'll see the details on that later. And I got to figure out how to actually remove bees like that. In the meantime, I do need to then work on housing, so I'll get around to setting those up. So see where that goes. Okay, so I got the first pallet down, first of 2, so it's in there. It's leveled. I opted to just do the earth removal method with this one instead of laying down gravel. I figured I'd try that out too, because it was fairly flat ground to begin with, so it was nothing crazy, and yeah, it wasn't that much to actually get it flush. So I'm just gonna get this. I got a sheet of plywood, put right on top of that. I'm using 3/8 now. Typically I use 1/8, but I don't have 1/8 right now, unless I want to do it in 2 pieces. But I don't want to do it in 2 pieces. I gotta try this out too, because I don't even have to cut that. It's nice. It's kind of a standard size. Man, it's just busy out here. It's crazy. I'm really curious how the end of the season is going to look. Alright, so I got the stand, at least the bottom portion set up, and this time I did something a little bit different. So I put actually the ratchet strap down just so that it stays on spot, because now it's centered in, you know, it's even on both sides, it's where I want it in, that's where I want it. And then when I just noticed that this one was a lot slicker, then it wanted to move around a lot more than previous hive stands, so I figured I'd go try and strap it down a bit. So I'm just I'm ready to take that. There's a rooster prowling around. I'm ready to move the hive over. So this is the one I'm taking. Got it on the furniture mover. Another great auction find. I like it. It's got a little strap on there. You can really crank it down. And yeah, I'll go bring it over. And then there's just a lot of figuring out leverage, and you can move these things. And then yeah, there'll be one down. Oh, I have to get a staple out of there, but yeah, get that set up. And there we have it in place. So it's on spot, it's all squared up, and it is just slight off center, but as you can see, it's this end that is low. So lift it up a bit. There it is. And it's better for it to actually have just a slight pitch forwards. It just aids in shedding water off the entrance. But if we were to bring this side to side, that's pretty good. And that's without me. I didn't shim nothing on this one. So I'm happy with that. I'll go put the lid on there. Screw the lid to the hive. I think what I should do is add 2 more screws in there, just in the corners here, to make sure that nothing comes loose, because the staples might not hold it entirely. And if I find a caulking, I should actually run that under there, just to close that off. So I still can't. I look at the traffic at that hive, and it's just it's crazy. It's like they almost want to swarm. Which, who knows, they might, depending on how much room they get. I'm not sure how much space they have, but see how that pans out. Well, there it is, finished. And, oh, is it? No, it's actually not, now I think of it. But hinges are fixed on here. I actually went with a different screw. Typically I had the wafer heads, but I didn't have enough, so these are actually a lot stronger. I don't know. I'll probably use those from now on. And there we go. Now I sunk actually 3 more on each side, on the ends, in the middle, and then over there. And that roof shouldn't be going anywheres. I might tighten that one down a bit more, but go under here with some caulking still to seal it off nicely, even around the edges if I can. I'll see if I have anything in the house, but other than that, then this one is set up. I just realized that I don't actually have stop blocks for it, so I don't have a means of keeping it open, but I guess I can get creative. It's just like I don't have anything that prevents nothing right now is preventing the roof from going all the way forwards. Oh, unless it's binding too. I haven't seen that before. I wonder what that's actually binding on. I'll have to investigate. Yeah, I just realized it's binding on the screws. And I don't have that. I never had that problem before because it was always a flat wafer. So yeah, I might have to change that out. Why not just put the screw up? Well, there's no. This is where the material is to actually screw into. There's a stud that's, you know, there's no stud behind there except for 3/8 plywood, and then 2 inches of insulation, and then 3/4 plywood. But there's nothing actually. But there is a bar that runs along the top, 3/4 wide, and that's what I'm lagging it into. But I might have to rethink that now, unless I notch that area out, unless I use that as the stop block. That gets sketchy. I'll figure something out. Alright, so I got the next platform set up. This is for the last hive that I have. And then, yeah, I actually have them all set up. And I'm just wheeling this is the roof for that one. I just noticed those are kind of interesting. That's clearly a paw mark on there. It's not the only ones. You can see so something was on there. That's a good sized animal too. I mean, it's small still, but to be crawling on my roof on the porch there, that's pretty good. Right in front of my window to boot. I wonder what that was. It's like a big cat. It was a raccoon, I don't know. Just thought it was interesting. But it's kind of, you're gonna have to get used to it already. But how busy this bee yard is now, it's pretty neat. So I still have to go back and catch the last of the remnants there, and I might actually, if I'm all suited up, then I'll probably put the bees on spot. Those little chipmunks are just rooting around everywhere, making holes under my. Well, they're living under the pallets, I think. So yeah, there's a nice thing if you have a cat around. They kind of deal with stuff like that. So I might have to. I have a friend. He's actually he's got kittens that he needs getting rid of. So yeah, I have to take him up on that offer. All right, so I think I'm just gonna call it a day here. I basically wrapped things up. I got all the sticks from the maple tree. They're all cleaned up. All the ones I want to keep, that's all been stored. The deck has been mostly cleaned. I should take a broom and sweep it. But you know, the big highlight is, yeah, this one is set up. And yes, it doesn't have the stop blocks yet, but I'm making those. I made little wedges that I'll screw into the front here. Nice little red accent to it. So that will be that one piece, and then I got the this one set up too. So the other one. This too needs some sort of stop block. I don't think I think I'm gonna try something different on this one. I'm thinking about going with a chain on the. Ooh, that's a heavy lid. I knew that was gonna be like that. I'll probably put a chain on here. Kind of like a roller chain. Oh, that's way too heavy. That was an experimental hive. I thought, hey, I can make a barn roof, but that's gonna want to flip over. I already know that. It's heavier than the other, the 45 would want to do that too, but yeah. Oh, Mr. Peter Rabbit. He's in the back there. He's probably gone already. Oh, no, there he is. He's there. Oh, yeah, you saw the movement. Funny little bugger. But it looks like the other bees, they moved in. So I went back to my parents. I did shake a few more bees into the box. And, well, it looks like there's a lot of activity here, so they're really moving. And as you can see, there's a good amount of dark bees in there. There's some light ones in there, but seems like things have kind of settled down. So it's been a productive day, I'd say. I'm tired now, so I'm gonna already eat, so kind of call it an evening, and just wanted to wrap things up. So if you watched this far, thanks for watching and take care.